I'm not having this chat that Arteta's untouchable and he's the only one out there that can manage this team or get us to somewhere. He ain't done it yet. We ain't crossed the line with Arteta. So let's stop putting him on a pedestal. Let's go back to okay. Arsenal
having like an Arteta out guy, my friend.
I'm not. I'm saying I'm not yet, but I can be.
Yes, people, welcome to the latest episode of the One True Red podcast. We're recording this after Arsenal have lost at home on penalties to Manchester United, the resurgent Manchester United, who got a good result last week against Liverpool and they followed up with another good result this week. And before we get into the pod, I just want to say, for those of you watching who've watched us on YouTube, please do follow, subscribe to the channel, share the content with everyone you know, and also like and comment as well. That helps us, the channel, to grow. So please do that. But now I've got that out of the way. We're going to get straight into the hot topic of tonight, which is tonight's game or this afternoon's game against Arsenal and Manchester United. Craig, your face. Cheer up, mate. For those of you who follow us on TikTok, you might have seen the preview that Craig did before the game where he said he wasn't confident. And it seems to have played out that way, Craig. Tell us all about it.
Where do I start there? I feel drained, man. This whole match day experience really does take it out of oneself. But I saw it coming. I predicted it. I said if we're not up for this in the manner that we should be up for it, we're gonna lose. And I just don't think we was up for it, like the way we should have been. In terms of when a team loses a high stakes football match one week and then they come back another week and get a chance to sort of redeem themselves, there wasn't that feel at all about this game. It didn't start well. It didn't start like, oh, right, we're going to be like smothering Man United and not allowing them out and stuff like that. It happened in certain phases, but there wasn't that sort of bounce back feel, and the energy of the crowd wasn't right. And it just, the whole experience just wasn't great. And I just thought to myself, it's what I predicted I think is going to happen. I really do. But the energy, as I said, something's not quite right ticking with the fans, with the players, just with everything around this club at the moment. There just feels a lot going on. And I know there's been a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of sort of unrest about players that are not coming in, like little frustrations and stuff like that. But something's just not clicking, it's not ticking, it's not working out like the way it did before in terms of the fluidity of our football, like the transition of back to front quickly. And do you know what I mean? Little Odegaard, little flicks and little tricks and little passes, and that would just motivate the crowd. The crowd was flat throughout the whole game. The crowd was dead.
It's your fault, though, isn't it? You're there.
Listen, Havertz almost got me kicked out. He almost got me kicked out of the Emirates, man. I'm telling you. Those misses were unbelievable, and I literally lost it. So apologies to the people who recognize my face, who you're sitting next to me. I apologize for the language I used. But listen, it was needed because I don't know what's going on with this guy, man. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, because the Arsenal sort of social media, I showed a clip of them training, and he was pinging the ball in the net and from distance and taking shots and da-da-da. I'm just like, where is this Havertz that we show in training? Where is this Havertz of the end of last season, banging in goals? Even he started off well this season. What's happened? I know we had a little injury in terms of he was out for a bit of sickness, but that doesn't take away your whole game. I don't see what Arteta sees in this guy up front as a number 9, as our go-to guy, as our head honcho, as they say, our shooter. I don't see anything in this guy. And I want a proper striker in the field. If we're going to play the way we're playing, where we're getting the ball out wide, tick, tick, tap, tick, tap, between the two centre-backs and then getting out wide, Martinelli checking back and then crossing it back in to a figure in the box. And if it's going to be Havertz, who last week headed it off of his shoulder with an opportunity that was just glaring opportunity from a striker of his ilk, you've got to put it in the net. So if we're going to play that way, get me someone who's going to put the ball in the net. Stop this stuff now.
All right, let me come in because
No, I'm not finished.
Let me come in. Like, this rant has gone on for far too long. Listen, Havertz wasn't bought to be a shooter. He wasn't bought to be number 1, number 9, but he's essential in our team. And it goes without saying. The issue is he hasn't got the players around him that are needed. So when you've got a firing Martinelli and a firing Saka, that centre focal point, which he is, great at holding up the ball, can release people in, push it back to Odegaard, through balls come in, you got players running in behind. How many players do you have running in behind for Arsenal now? Jesus started on the right. He didn't know what to do. So to say that Havertz is washed or is this kind of failed shooter is just inaccurate. He wasn't bought to be that. Unfortunately, we're in a position where we need to use him there all the time. And nobody was complaining last season when we scored the most goals we've scored in a Premier League season. But guess who was there? Starboy. So when there's an ingredient missing, this is the problem with our team. An ingredient missing causes a lot of malfunction in the entire unit. And that's where we're at. But the game comes with blessings. Jesus blessed us with an injury. So guess what? If there's a bigger sign to go out on that transfer market and get the player that us fans want, there it is. So with the loss comes a blessing.
Yeah, I agree with your points. I agree with your point regarding Havertz. And yeah, he wasn't bought. His initial sort of transfer was to replace
Sorry, let me just cut in again. Sorry, because neither you in your rant and me in my response even went into this Marino guy that is a waste of space in the team. Like, don't come on the pod, don't go anywhere. Any Arsenal fans, don't go anywhere slating off Havertz without mentioning Marino first. Because the guy's there for no reason. He's stiff, he can't move, and he does nothing. Many people didn't even know he played today, but he did. But Havertz is going to get the blame because he was on the end of some chances. But guess what? Our non-shooting playmaker took our penalty that he won. So he doesn't want to take any shots in game, but he wants to take the penalty and miss it for us. Odegaard's shooting is terrible.
Who do you mean?
I don't know what's happened
Odegaard,
to him. Odegaard. I don't know what's happened to him. But the guy can't shoot no more. I don't know what it is. He's scared to pull the trigger. I don't know whether his ankle is injured and he can't hit the ball properly or he's not confident. But if that's the case, don't take the penalty.
But have you noticed, Mikey, the only people that are taking shots outside the box are our defenders? Like Gabriel was taking shots the other week. Timber was taking shots the other week. They can't shoot, but they're the ones actually taking that initiative to actually try and shoot. Odegaard gets in these positions and he just doesn't, I don't understand. He doesn't pull the trigger. He wants this little pass that's going to make him look great. Take a shot,
taking
bro.
too many touches.
Yeah, take a shot.
Yeah.
But again, I agree with you on the Marino point. Arteta needs his head checked in terms of if you're going to start Marino or Jorginho, they have to start with a Rice or Partey. Those two can't play together. Jorginho wasn't that bad today, but he made a few mistakes in the second half. But playing them two together is suicide. I don't know what he was thinking. Marino's shocking.
That's the other point that I was going to say. You said that if we were serious, we would have done X, Y, and Z. If we were serious, then I think Partey and Rice play. So that has to be a balance in there.
Yeah.
I'm not that fussed about what's happened. Like the way it happened, I'm more fussed about in that we had loads of chances that should have been put away. And we rely on a high accuracy from certain players because others just can't score. And this is the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal, actually. All Liverpool players will pull the trigger. Trent, VVD if he's in zone, all the attacking players love to take shots, but our players will wait.
But yeah.
Wait. Sometimes likes a shot as well, didn't he? McAllister, they all like to shoot. They'll shoot as soon as they're in space. But our players...
For me as well.
Guy. Look at Uche. Look how smug he's looking.
I don't even want
he should have a cigar.
Is he screen frozen? It looks like he's just being like
I'm minding my business. People are just picking on me. Listen, first and foremost, congratulations to Arsenal on yet another great display of shooting. 26 shots, 7 on target. Clearly no problem with shooting. I thought I'm gonna complain to the FA Cup, to the FA, because clearly the ball was a problem again. There was a clear situation where the ball just wasn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, and he just completely out of order. When you shoot a ball, it's not meant to go over the bar. It's meant to go, and it's clearly because of the ball. The design of the ball is what's causing all these issues. So I'm really sorry, Arsenal fans. Yeah, Arteta has got this on lock. Don't worry. Back in the Premier League, you're gonna have Premier League balls, and everything's gonna be all right. Cheer up, CT. I know you went to the game, but you know, it's not every time you go to the game you're gonna come out with a victory. It's only Manchester United. You'll be back. Don't worry. Just be, put your head up, man. I don't like to see you like this. These are my brothers, man. I don't like to see you like this. This upsets me. As you could tell, it really, really upsets me when I see you guys in this state. I didn't really, obviously, because it's Arsenal, I had to watch the game to give a comment. It's really disappointing. How could you play against that 10 men of that team? I'm sorry, I have to laugh because I just can't even imagine it. Yes, we messed up the other day and you guys had your little 10 minutes of fun. But if you guys are 10 men at home and you can't deal with these jokers, and then they gave you extra time and you still couldn't deal with them, what is there to say? It's ridiculous. It's totally unacceptable. So take your slap. Be happy that you're out of the cup. One less cup to focus on. So that leaves now, what is it? Champions League, still the league, and still the League Cup. So there's still a chance to have a very, very, very successful season. And I mean that.
And silence.
I'm still gutted. I'm not gonna lie. I had it all planned out.
I'm content as well.
You see, Mikey's content. Why can't you be content like Mikey? The calendar's opened up. You get to have more rest.
I'm telling you, if Mikey was at that game, yeah, he would have had a different sort of opinion on how he wanted it to go, because it drains you, bro. It drains you.
Yeah. And once you at the game, it's a different
experience. Like, it's minus temperatures out there. It's difficult being out there. Like, but guess what? I wasn't. I was in a warm environment watching on TV, wanting my team to win, but at the same time recognizing that the FA Cup is the FA Cup. It will just cause us problems. We haven't got a squad that's deep enough to be able to make a challenge in all those. And yeah, that's the club's fault. And yeah, we've spent a bit of money. And yeah, we haven't bought any strikers in, but I'm sure that will change after today.
Apart from
that, it has to.
But this is the thing. Before today, I'll be honest with you. I was on the pod last week and I was mentioning players that I thought, yeah, let's go and get them. But then the more I thought about it, the more I heard, the more I was thinking, these guys aren't going to make any signings. But now we've been blessed by Jesus. And now there has to be a signing.
But
there's not even a query.
Does it not make a difference? But I know from a Liverpool point of view, when we have an injury, it has to be, well, how long is this guy out for? Because if he's out for a couple of weeks, from our point of view, I'm like, well, they're not going to sign anyone. So Jesus is only out for
it's significant.
While.
It's his knee. It's going to
be significant because that was his issue before, his knee. And you could tell his reaction. And this is the issue that I have as well. When these players go down, like he went down, and you could tell that it was something bad, despite people saying that he dived because they thought that he went down for an elbow when he was holding his knee. Clearly he's injured. But he continued on. This happened with Timber. And then we lost him for 9 months. Why are players continuing on when they take these knocks? And I hope Odegaard's all right as well, despite him not being able to shoot. He looked like he was injured in the first half. And there was an injection at half time and come out in the second half because those injections are going to soon add up. And then he's going to be in trouble as well.
Yeah, there was a stage it looked like he was going to be sort of substituted because he was just
he sat down. Didn't he? So clearly there was an issue.
Right. I think the injury, so the injury room is going to be very, very busy Monday. Tell you.
We don't have injuries though, do we, Rob?
It's so sad.
No,
Yeah, apparently it's a myth.
You've got just as many as most clubs get. That's what you've got.
Have we?
I think so. Because there's a few of our players missing and have been this season, and we haven't used it as a reason.
How many have you got injured?
At the moment, we've had most of them come back. To be fair, most of them come back now. But we've had a period without Robertson, without Sabozlai,
that was a blessing.
Without Jones, without
Another
Canate, without who else have we had missing? Jota's been out for a month.
Elliot.
So yeah, we've had our fair we've had our fair share. So
did you say Nunes?
I didn't say. Did I say Nunes?
No, you did. Now I know you're taking the mic.
Well, speaking of Nunes, so are you guys done with Arsenal? Because we can talk about
well and truly, unless we're going to go into any transfer talk.
We can touch on that because we've got to speak about the midweek games as well. You got North London derby coming up on is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday? Because I know we're playing Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, so we've got the North London derby to talk about, but let's just touch on yesterday's result at Anfield. There's not a lot to say really because it's Accrington Stanley.
Who were they?
Hey, nice one,
There he is.
Silence for the rest of them. Nice one. You got the memo, Mikey. So Accrington Stanley, Anfield yesterday. It was a stroll in the park, Uche.
Yeah, there's nothing really. I don't like to talk about these kind of games, because there's bigger fish to fry and bigger teams to talk about. Simple enough game. You kind of crack, relax and have a chat and be watching it on the background. I thought it was a professional performance. They did quite well in the first few minutes. Tried to press, which is quite impressive from their point of view. The way they tried to play the game. But obviously, as time went on, you kind of felt that Liverpool are going to cut them open, and that's what happened. Tremendous, counter-attacking from a typical set piece for the first goal, and then Trent with the fantastic goal. Obviously, the talk of the town is a little kid that got his debut, which was fantastic for him. 16-year-old that we stole from Chelsea. So it was good for him to get his first start. He clearly has something. He clearly has some dribbling ability. He clearly has sort of the forthright. He likes to go on one-on-ones, and he was a very good display. Got the crowd excited. I thought he did extremely well for 72 minutes that he was on. Great to see Chiesa come on because every time it's time for him to start, he always have an illness or not being sick. I thought he did extremely well to actually finally get his goal. So it was a case of making sure that our players got the minutes. And then, especially the ones that didn't get the minutes, and then get ready for the big game on Tuesday. And the people that needed to be rested, needed the absolute rest. Obviously, got rested, didn't even get involved in the game at all. So we're more than ready and prepared for Tuesday against the team in second in Nottingham Forest. Actually, no, they're not in second. So I
don't know why everyone keeps saying first few seconds.
It's true. Because obviously your goal difference actually has always mattered in this league. So it's strange. Against the third place, because obviously Arsenal is second on goal difference. So I think it'll be it's just a perfect preparation. Nothing else to really talk about. Good display, nice debut. Thank you very much, and see them on Tuesday. The real big boys on Tuesday.
Yeah, so I agree with all of that. I mean, Trent had a great performance on the back of a terrible, shocking one last week. Obviously, it's only Accrington Stanley, but it was a lovely goal, top corner. What did you think of Nunes? Because I thought another wasted opportunity for him. The guy's just on borrowed time, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't really comment on Nunes because he is where he is, right? It's almost like, why do we have to keep talking about the same thing every Liverpool fan sees, knows, and is pretty much have to be okay, whether they like it or not. You have to be okay with it. If someone told you that's your 80 million whatever signing, you'd be like laughing on the floor. That's not possible. It's not realistic. You're having me on, but he's not of the quality that's required. But he did well to set up the goal, which is good. I don't know. It's just he's never gonna be that guy, and there's no point pretending. One thing I would rate about people like that is that he's been a contributor, and he will be continue to be a contributor. Because one thing I like about him is that at least he's fit all the time. He's available. and he can do channels, and I think the manager is using him properly. But in terms of if it was a key game, if you have that guy in front of you, something has gone really wrong. Hopefully, he's never going to come to that, because it's going to be like Jota up front or Diaz. And as long as that continues to be the case, I've kind of almost like I've concluded on Nunes. Nunes becomes a serious problem if you look around and he's your guy that you have to go to and put up front, because the other guys are injured, the two people I just mentioned. That's when it becomes a real problem for the club. Thankfully, we're never going to get to that, because like we said, we've got two people we can trust to play that position. You know, Jota being the first and foremost first choice for me. And then if required, you put Diaz up front there. So it's not a problem. So because it's not a problem, I don't need to worry about it. I can park it and not worry about it. Because it's not, I don't think you're going to see Nunes ever leading this club to any glory anytime soon. I think when this season is done, you have to then focus on what you can do, because obviously you can't continue 80 million kind of signing to be doing that. It's not really what you want. But I think it is what it is. I don't really comment. There's no point dissing him anymore. There's nothing to diss. So I just thank him for his services, for what he does, which is stretching the team. He's got a bit of ability. He can surprise you with his shot sometimes. But, you know, it's a bit like, I'm sure, Rel, you remember this, in a different way, because I actually rated him for what he is. He annoyed me. But, you know, Moheski, when he was 4-goal, I don't worry about it, because I know that, you know, if you don't score, it's, you know, what you want me to do? He's what it is. It's that kind of stuff. But you still appreciate other things he brings to the game, but he cannot be your answer. And he's not, thankfully, he's not our answer to our problems. So that's fine.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, yeah, the thing that's irritated me about Nunes this season is that he seems to have regressed again, which is like, it's just, I don't know how you can be, this is now 2.5 years at the club and you're getting worse rather than get better. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And he's getting older and he's still making just schoolboy error. There was, I don't know if it was that, it might have been the United game. I'm mixing up my games. Obviously, there was a chance he missed yesterday where he just rushed it. And I think Fowler on commentary on the BBC, whatever channel it was on, ITV, BBC, he said about no composure. The guy just has no, like when you talk about the ice cold, you get your chance. The killers, the Kanes, the Fowler in his day, they're ice cold in that situation. Everything slows down and they just bury it. Him, it's like, I don't know if you see, is it The Simpsons, where they've got the guy and in home, they look into Homer's head and there's just a guy playing the banjo, the clown playing the banjo in his head, and that's the only thing that's in there. It's like, that's what it's like with Nunes. It's like he gets a chance or gets the ball and then it's just complete panic. He doesn't know what to do. And it's like, you're getting older now. You should be getting more experience, and this stuff should be becoming more natural. And it's like he's getting even more in his head and getting worse, which is just
but I think one. So I wanted to, when the game was going on, I think I mentioned it on the chat, Rel, in our Liverpool group. You know, it was just bugging me. So I said, let me actually look at all his goals for Benfica, right? And the one thing that really will stand out when you look at those kind of comparison is you see that this is a player that knows, and this is a major part. Mikey knows this because Mikey played up front, so he knows exactly what I'm going with this, right? When you know you're starting a game every week, the way you play is different. The things you try is different. When you're being when you know you're gonna get taken out, I don't care how much of a bad man you actually think you are, is gonna affect your mentality. And I think for Benfica, he was always knew he was playing. So you could see little goals, but a lot of his goals was actually quite close to the box. Headers, 6, 8, 12 yards, some penalties, very, very close. We don't really play in that way. And I'm not suggesting we're ever going to play in that way, because why would we? We don't need to play in that manner. So to be fair to him, when you made that comment now, I just got me thinking, actually, we're never going to play to his strength, are we? So, and if you play to his strength, you're going to have to, basically grow with his misses. And he has to now grow with it and know that he's a starting 11 every week, and that's not going to happen. So it's just one of those things that we can't wait for that. So because we can't wait for it, it's going to always be a failed project, because we're not going to wait for him to be missing chances and give him. He's not going to start every week. It's not possible. Why would we do that? We're not going to do that. So, but as a number nine normally knows they're starting, and they're very confident. They can focus all their energy, knowing I'm going to get 70, 80, 90 minutes. Look at what's happening with Watkins recently, right? Now that Duran is about, you could tell the dude is making more mistakes. He's thinking, if I do mess up, I'm gonna come on.
Purple patches are purple patches. He's not changed.
You don't rate him.
I don't rate Watkins. I don't rate Nunes. But the point you make around Nunes is a good point in terms of he'll be snatching at chances that he might otherwise not. It'll be in his head. He will know that if he doesn't have a good game, he's not starting the next game. Whereas at his previous club, he had free reign, didn't he? He could miss 5 chances and still take the next game. So in your head, you're thinking either the next chance or the next game, I'm going to score at some point. Whereas now, he's having to take a back seat because there's a couple of other guys that can play the position better than him. And he's just not good enough for you guys anyway. He never was. He was raw, overpaid for, but I say overpaid for, I guess it depends on whether there was anyone else in for him, because the market is the market and you pay what you need to pay to get the player that you think is the player. I'm just disappointed that Slot was able to establish this so soon, because some managers might have persisted.
Yeah. I think there was no chance of that, purely based on, I don't know if it was luck from a slot point of view, because obviously when he took charge, I'm pretty sure there was still Copa America going on, I think, and he wasn't there. So he was working with other people and all that. And then made the usual speech that he's going to give him a chance. But obviously when he saw him, he kind of knew that obviously you're not my guy. So, and he made it pretty clear from the start of the season, Jota is the guy. But obviously Jota is the danger zone, because normally with Jota, you're not going to get a full season. But like I said, I'm delighted because we happen to find a solution in Diaz as well. So it's not a problem I need to worry about. So he doesn't disturb me as much as he should, because I always feel like, well, as long as I keep seeing another bad man on the bench, I'm thinking, well, do your worst, because I know like at least the other guy is going to come in for 20-25 minutes, and if we need to score, we'll score. Obviously against Arteta, I don't care about that because we're going to win regardless. So
just before we move on, because I want to talk about Nottingham Forest. It's a game that I believe that Nunes is actually banned for, because he picked up a yellow against United for a stupid challenge, but that's another story. Just to go back to your point about at Benfica, he would have been starting, but he's had runs within the Liverpool team where he has started, and all he's shown is just more missed chances, like in crucial games as well. So I take your point that if he knows that he's the main man and there's nobody going to take his spot, then he might be a bit more relaxed. But he has had runs in the team where he's been the first choice as a central striker, and he's still just flopped. So I think with him, I don't think there's any way that he can recover it and become that £80 million player that we paid for. But as I say, he's missing for the game on Tuesday. So Nottingham Forest away is next up for Liverpool. We're going to part the FA Cup chat because Arsenal no longer in it. Just quickly, we've got Plymouth away. Uche, happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to see that. I was thinking about you because you always complain that Chelsea or Man City always get these draws. So it's nice to get a nice draw that we can, again, rotate teams and be quite confident we should go through to the next round. I think the FA Cup as well as this League Cup against Spurs has actually helped the squad to keep everyone at least ticking along to at least February, March. Because I think once you get to the busy end, especially when the Champions League resumes, certain players are just not going to touch ball for quite some time. So it's good that you have these cups to rotate and get them some minutes, much needed minutes in case they're needed in the running because of injuries and stuff like that. But easy. Love the fixtures. Happy days. So we move
on to Tuesday night against Nottingham Forest. I said in the pod last week that I think it's a tough game. I think you laughed at me, Uche. And
I don't think it's a tough game at all.
I still think it's a tough game.
Nah. Obviously, it's a tough game because they're playing a Premier League team. If you're going to go down that road, Southampton will be a tough game, and it was a tough game. If that's what we're doing.
You're being disingenuous.
You're shaking your head, but Southampton was a tough game for us.
Listen, Southampton tried to play out and we'll give you chances and we'll make loads of mistakes. Forest won't do that.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm trying to respect the real. Like, if you're talking about during the game, would we have some tough times? I know that Southampton was going to give us problems, but I also knew that we're going to win the game. So Forest will give us whatever problem. I'll be extremely disappointed if we don't get 3 points. And it's simple because we all know what Forest is going to do. Nobody's going to be surprised. He knows because he got beaten by Forest, which he keeps going, I wouldn't let it go for quite some time. So this is the time for him to fix it. He's very funny. So everybody knows if they get a set piece, they're going to try and they're going to be extremely dangerous because they've got really big guys. If we get a set piece, we'll probably have no chance of doing anything. We haven't been doing anything with it anyway. The chance of us doing anything against Forest is very, very remote. We're not nowhere near Arsenal's level of expertise of putting the ball where it really hurts you, regardless, talkless of how big they are. So it's going to be, don't play that game again. You have to take the game to them and try and break them down because they're going to let you have the ball. And they're going to have Ilanga and Odoi trying to hit you on the break with Gibbs White. So I don't think it's a problem because actually this Liverpool team, the way we play, I would rather prefer a team that sits back. That would be my preference because I believe that if we haven't been doing it, I'll go a bit.
Who have you dropped points to this season?
Fulham.
Who have you dropped points to this season?
To Fulham, who tried to expose our right hand side with the excellent Robinson on the left flank. We dropped points to Newcastle, as you know. They gave us a bit of trouble when we solved it. Should have won the game, and then Kelleher unfortunately misjudged that cross right at the death. We dropped points against the fantastic Arsenal. You know how difficult it is to get any points in the Emirates. Extremely difficult, almost impossible. I don't even know how we did it, but we did it. You know, thankfully somehow.
Do you think he's being generous with? Genuine.
Let me just say the way that I was looking at this is there's a type of team that you drop points against generally.
Yeah,
Newcastle, Manchester United, and Nottingham Forest will all sit in and wait to counter with quick transition.
But they need to hurt you on the counter.
But this is the thing. But they all took points in some form in that way. So why would this be any different?
That's the issue. That's the question, right? So one, I think Konate and VVD is back. We need to make sure that we don't give anything away. Like I said again, credit to Forest.
Is Konate back though?
That's the thing. I don't even know. We've still not heard anything about what happened there, have we?
What do you mean?
I don't even know. So for the viewers, what we're talking about is Konate was on the bench. He was in the team that was released by some of the local press on yesterday. And then within 45 minutes, they then released a new team, which had Endo starting, who wasn't previously even on the bench before. And then it's just been silence. Even Slot after the game, nobody asked him about it. He didn't mention it. So I don't know whether it was just an error with the first team sheet, and that's the reason why, or whether there's something that's gone on in terms of illness or what, and then they're just going to surprise it. Oh, Monday morning comes around, Konate's out for whatever. So I don't know what's gone on there, to be honest.
Well, that would be a big miss if Tom, because he, like he said, he didn't talk about it, and normally he's not like Arteta. He will talk about it and give you some views on what he thinks, but he didn't mention it. So I'm gonna assume he's fine. But if he's not, that's a bigger problem to handle because obviously Kwanzaa hasn't lived up to the hype of last season's. They just leave it there. But for me, I honestly to go back to Mikey's point, I think that we couldn't break it down, obviously, but normally we score goals. The problem we had in those games you mentioned, Mike, is that we conceded goals because those teams was giving us problems. I didn't really see many problems that Forest gave us. They just hit us on the counter, and it was the extremely good goal from a very tough angle. It was a very, very good goal. I always say to people, I know everyone criticizes goals all day, but that's a very difficult goal to score on a counter because that was, the XG of that and whatnot, and the angle was really tough. It was a really good goal. So I just don't anticipate us. We didn't give them that many chances for them to hold on to. Whereas when you talk about Newcastle, the game, they actually have a top striker that created a goal. And then against Manchester United, we all know what happened there. So I don't see that happening. That's why I'm confident that, it's going to be a tough game. But I expect us to win 2-0, whether that's 1-0 or 2-0. But I'm really confident about that game. I really was looking forward to this game a lot because I want to play this game. Because I think for Slot, it's like he's probably been looking forward to it as well. But let's not mess around. If they ever come out with a draw, we have to give credit where credit is due. But I'm not worried about this game. I'm not.
Don't say that. Don't backtrack.
But
I'm not worried about this game. Did I? So just so I don't stutter, right? Let me make it clear once again. I am not worried about this game on Tuesday.
Yeah, double down, bro.
We should win 2-0. Yeah.
Go.
And then, on Wednesday, we're going to sit back and watch that nonsense called the North London Derby. That's Craig tries his best to deceive us. Basically, 3 points being dashed to Arsenal. But let them take over that one.
So I don't think you should be worried about the game. But history tells us they're going to give you problems because they attack via their wide players and Trent and Robertson can be got at. So if Gibbs White supports Hudson-Odoi or Elanga on whichever side, then I expect them to get some chances. Wood will rough up whatever centre-back plays with VVD. Even if Konate is back, he's not fully 100. So I expect there to be some issues there. And they're just going to sit in and wait for an opportunity to counter. They'll just sit in. They're probably the easiest game that Arsenal have had this season. And I wasn't expecting it to be as easy. We beat them 3-0. It was so comfortable. It was ridiculous. But I thought they would have caused some problems.
So did I.
Because of the way they play.
Yeah, so did I. I was annoyed when I saw the result.
Yeah, I remember that game because I was speaking to Mike on the chat, and I thought they'll give them because they just literally sit there and exist. So it's down to you to break them down. And Arsenal did it very well. They said, okay, then challenge accepted. And Arsenal went and broke them down and got the goal and said, thank you very much. Because they were just sitting there. They can't hurt you unless you open up for them to hurt you. And Arsenal, handled the game actually fantastically well, I thought. That's probably the right way to play it.
I think Slot is going to take it personally this game because, as you know, Uche, just about every other press conference he does, he mentions that Nottingham Forest beat them, and he's not happy about that. So I think he's going to take it personally if they don't get a result again on Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's kidology as well, by the way. He's trying to play down how great a season or how far ahead you are. Don't joke around in this group. Come on. he doesn't hold any feelings against Nottingham Forest. It's not
honestly,
don't.
The way he brings it up when even unprompted, he'll bring it up and say, "Oh yeah, but Nottingham Forest beat us."
It's the one loss you've had, and so it brings people's expectations back down. Come on, I'm seeing right through it, and so do you. So don't do that here, please.
I'm taking it on face value. But anyway, I'm not as confident as Uche. I think it's going to be a tough game, not just because of the way they play, and as you said, our fullbacks can be got at. The good thing, though, that was missing from the United game is that Szoboszlai should hopefully start this game, so he will help in terms of helping out on the right hand side and on the left hand side if that's where they try and attack. So he's got legs and he can get up and down. He can do it all. He can do it for 90 minutes. So that's one thing that will work in our favor. But just with the confidence that they won 3-0 today or yesterday as well, they've just looked very accomplished in what they do, and that's what's worrying me somewhat. So obviously want a win, might be a draw, but we'll see. But
they're in the most informed team. I think it's 6 wins in a row at the moment.
Exactly.
If you then include the competition, the club cup competition might be even 7. The confidence
they could draw. They could draw now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not taking a draw. I am not taking a draw.
You're gonna draw. Trust me. My predictions have come true, like for all these games. So I think you're.
Of course, you're hoping for a draw. You always beg, and if we draw, then you're definitely gonna draw. We know that.
Oh, yeah, so
matchy. It's back. So yeah. So let's talk about the United game. Not the United game. The North London derby.
We've been there already.
Yeah. No. You're right. We've done that. Let's talk about the North London derby Wednesday. I mean, Tottenham are not going to do anything. They were lucky. I don't know if you guys saw the Tamworth game, but Tamworth troubled them. There's no way you should be getting. I know it's on a 3G pitch or whatever, but come on, Tamworth troubled them, so they're just going to get slapped up against Arsenal on Wednesday. Isn't that right, Craig?
We hope so. We hope so. If Arteta makes the necessary changes that he needs to,
which are
put back the proper midfielders in there, put Rice and Partey back in. Maybe, Havertz has to play now, but obviously start Sterling. If we haven't signed, we're not going to sign anyone. But if we haven't signed anyone, start Sterling as well on the right. And I think it'll be a different game to the Man United one because Spurs don't know how to sit in. They want to attack. They will attack us at any opportunity. They will get all their players just bombing forward, and we'll be able to counter. If we do it right, and Arteta gets it right, the tweaking and the transitional play as well needs to be a bit quicker. I think we'll beat Spurs comfortably, to be honest. I can't see any issues from them apart from the counter where they will try and stick it on us. But we've been okay defensively, sort of counter-attacking wise. So I'm hoping for at least a 2-0 win against Spurs.
Mikey, I know you're confident. I can just,
It's Tottenham. Need I say
all
more?
right, let's move on. It's Tottenham. You don't need to say anymore. That's enough.
Yeah. I don't expect them to give us any trouble, really. I'd be very disappointed if we didn't win. Very disappointed. Sterling came on and did pretty decent today, to be honest. Better than he has done all season. Probably a better option on the right than Jesus. As Craig says, Partey and Rice were clearly on the bench because they were going to start midweek. And so we should be pretty strong in that game. And defensively, they shouldn't be able to cope with us. Despite we're going to miss some chances.
Your guy's going to miss some chances, definitely.
Isn't he the top scorer?
What other scores have we got?
There you go.
They're all out injured.
Yeah, so comfortable win for Arsenal on Wednesday. Uche, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was going to add a question for Craig. When's the last time you guys lost to Spurs at home? Do you know? That's it. Sorry, that's no. I don't need
it sounds like a loaded question.
I don't need your answer anymore. The fact that someone that claims, clearly hates Spurs has to think about it. It's like me asking you, Real, when's the last time we lost at home to Manchester United? You have to go, That tells you how long ago it was. So thank you very much, Craig. You've actually kind of answered the question without answering. There's nothing here. There's nothing to worry about. Let's just move on, please. This is a free gift. Take your 3 points. Congratulations. It's pointless. Well done.
Yeah.
Your 3 points.
Yeah. Hopefully we have matched Arsenal's result and we've got that 3 points as well. So last week or maybe the week before, we spoke about Man City and how they're cooked, they're done, they're this, they're that. Uche mentioned about, I think they're going to make some signings, and if they haven't by the 14th or the 15th, and it is the 12th today, if they haven't by the 14th or 15th of January, then they're done for the season and they're not going to do anything. But if they do make some signings, they might make it up to second place. Arsenal, are you worried?
No.
It's too late for them.
Simple. No.
Too late for them.
No.
So they're buying a centre back. They're buying 2 centre backs and a striker.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to drop Haaland? Are they going to drop Haaland? Drop Haaland then. What difference is this going to make to the flow of their game? It's not. Because the issue that they have is around centre mid. So they can buy another striker.
Yeah.
In fact, let them buy 2 more strikers and another 2 more centre backs. Because the issue is teams just running through their midfield.
Yeah.
And their quickest centre backs their quickest defender wants to go anyway. Despite him having a tendency to give some goals away.
Yeah, news today that Walker has told Pep that he wants to leave. Speculation that it might be not today. Speculation that it might be to Saudi Arabia, but I saw something about AC Milan as well today. So who knows where he's going to end up? But for that to come out halfway through the season, I don't know if something's gone on in the background as well. But that's a bit of a random one for me.
Things have looked iffy at City all season in regards to him as well. The fact that Lewis is getting game time, I think I've mentioned it on here previously. he shouldn't be. He should be at West Ham, or I don't even think he'd get a game at West Ham. Actually, at right back, he's just not good enough.
That's
So
true.
the fact that
That's
he's saying
true.
instead of Walker, it's like there's issues.
Definitely. So if you're saying that you think that they can carry on signing their defenders and their strikers, and we touched on it earlier about Arsenal and whether or not you're actually going to do anything in this window. I've still not seen you being linked with anyone concretely, but I'm not plugged into the Arsenal side of the internet. But who's going to come in? Especially we've got about 3 weeks left. Is it the end of January the window shuts?
Yeah, I think so.
So we got 3 weeks. If they weren't planning to get a striker in, doing a deal in the next 3 weeks is going to be tough if it's a long-term person that you're looking to sign. So other than that, you're looking at a panic buy or a loan. But have you been linked with anyone?
The only tentative link has been Williams, like I mentioned last pod. Cunha apparently is going to sign a contract at Wolves, and so he'll be expensive in the summer. But he'll be a summer target apparently. But yeah, the strikers are there.
I've heard have you heard the rumor about Duran from Villa?
Yeah, sorry, that's another rumor. Yeah. Duran, 60 million.
The type of profile I'd like.
May have a clause.
Yeah. It's the type of profile I'd like at Arsenal, actually. Like do you know what I mean? Like a target man. Just try something different.
He's raw, but do you know what? When you don't have a striker as such, you take whoever you can get.
The way I would jack that guy, yeah. The way I would jack that guy. I don't even like to hear someone being linked to him. I hope Liverpool are planning something with that Duran. I'm telling you now. The way I would jack that guy needs to be jacked from Villa ASAP. I'm telling you now. That guy is the guy. That's the man. That's the brother. That's a serious striker right there, man.
Heard rumors about Mbeumo as well from Brentford. Apparently, we've inquired, but
yeah, he's linked with us in United, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll take him. In terms of what we have now.
In the past as well.
He's pretty decent. Like he's not like a star name or anything, but he gets a lot of goals. That's the one thing.
I was going to say he scores goals and he runs at people as well.
And he creates a lot. A lot. I like him actually. I think he's been underrated, and I have no doubt it's because he's of African heritage.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, seeing what he brings to the table, I think he's an excellent player. It would be nice to have him in there. He definitely deserves a move to another step to step it up. I saw him also linked with Liverpool for Salah. I said, like, you guys stop misbehaving, but you know,
I rate him, but not like that.
Let's just stop misbehaving. I don't like when I hear stunts. Just say that he's been linked with Liverpool. Just don't mention the great. Don't put the great next to that name. Just say, look, we don't know where he's gonna play yet. Just something. Just make up. Just don't mention his name. We'll be fine. I want to say on the City thing. I think third place is almost a certainty. So the only question I have is what I told Mikey, whether they'll be able to catch Arsenal. That's it. If you look at their fixtures, man, it's starting. It's already started. They can do it. 6 points behind is absolutely nothing. And if all he takes is a couple of slips, which will definitely happen in Nottingham Forest case, might not happen a lot because I think Arsenal are a better team than Man City. That's the only thing. But for example, I think in a few weeks they're playing Chelsea. If they win that game, they'll demote Chelsea straight away. So I think third is most like the lowest they're gonna finish. And I think I don't like where it's going. I was hoping that someone would knock them out of the FA Cup before we get to this point, but it is what it is. Because at the moment, that's why I want to win the League Cup, because they're not in it. Win the league because they're completely out of it. So that leaves the Champions League and the FA Cup, which, you know, they can get their acts together. But everything Mikey is saying is correct in terms of right now, today, they still look shaky and you can still get through them. But they could change.
They got a difficult run of games coming up.
They have
games, and then they got a horrible run.
Who have? Man City.
Yeah.
Nah. What's horrible?
Yes. When did they play you?
Brentford away, Ipswich
When did they
away.
play you? Yeah.
Then PSG, then Chelsea, then Club Brugge.
In the league, man. What are we doing here?
No, then in the league, they're away to Arsenal.
Bruges or all these things.
No, 2nd of February, away to Arsenal.
Mate, they're struggling.
So their league games, let me just go through it. Brentford away.
February is the hard one.
Listen,
February.
Brentford away, Ipswich away. Okay, cool. Then Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. All in a row.
Yeah, that's why they're going to get everyone sorted by then. In February.
That's a difficult run of games.
Yeah,
they better have a couple centre mids in there.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying, but you know how it is though. If you beat Chelsea and somehow you can hold Arsenal, then it's not too bad. That's what I'm saying. But if say for example, argument's sake, I don't think it'll happen. But if they beat Chelsea and you guys, what? That's what? How many points behind? Hardly anything. I don't think it'll happen. I think Arsenal.
I can't see it happening, to be honest.
I think Arsenal are a better team. That's just my opinion. But and also I need Arsenal to, we need to keep this. I need Arsenal to make people like
There's
Real.
no challenges, is there?
Yeah, because Real will start. At least make Real go behind the sofa or something. Because otherwise, what's Real gonna be? She's just gonna start getting excited. And can you imagine Real being excited? Have you actually ever seen Real excited about Liverpool winning something? He doesn't do it. It's too
the year
edgy.
we won it. The year we won it, we were 20 points ahead or something, so I could relax.
Yeah, that's it. When it was completely in sale, so we need a bit of fake challenges, especially one with Jesus up front.
He's injured. Remember the blessing.
Oh yeah, sorry, Kai Havertz. Sorry, the assassin that I keep
the
seeing.
verse is fine as long as he's got Saka besides him,
which he won't have for a while.
Like, he's missing sitters, bro. Like, I don't care.
Obviously, he had a diabolical game in front of goal, but his game isn't about being an assassin.
On the spin.
Oh wait, what's this I'm hearing? CT, you want Arteta out?
Listen,
speak on this.
Remember that shirt I had a few seasons back? I've still got it,
Wow.
He needs to behave himself. Listen, he just needs to make some tweaks to this team in terms of quicker play. That transition he's got to get right because it's not working out in terms of getting it out wide to Martinelli or whoever's on the right. It's obviously not going to be Jesus anymore, but he just needs to tweak some things. And he's not doing it. We're going from game to game now and we're just doing the same old. Even the things like like we'll press the team, so we'll press high up, we'll get possession of the ball again, it will go out for a throw-in, and then whoever's taking a throw-in will take 5 minutes to find a player to throw in. Everyone's back in their positions, the opposition team. The momentum's gone. So even just little things like that, just little things he can tweak.
So you're Arteta out?
I'm not Arteta out yet,
okay.
But I can be.
Because
if things.
Let me just say, any Arsenal fan that is Arteta out is an idiot. So I don't want to be rude to you, my brother, but if you're Arteta out, you're an idiot.
No chance. No way. So okay. So let's put it this way. So if we have an unsuccessful season once again, you're willing to do what? Give him time to do what?
An unsuccessful season. What do you mean?
In terms of winning nothing.
Because
becoming
win nothing,
second or third.
We're second.
No.
We're second, and there are Arsenal fans that want Arteta out.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm not there yet.
It's so childish.
I'm not there yet.
And this is the problem. Everybody's so reactionary. Because last week on the pod, we weren't Arteta out. This week on the pod, we're swaying. And then all these people in social media land looking for clickbait with their Arteta out slogans, banners. It's a nonsense. It's so childish. It doesn't make sense.
Let me put it to you again. Yeah, end of season. I'm not talking now because I'm not Arteta out now. Yeah, end of season. We win.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Do you think a different manager will win the league with this team?
Yeah.
What? You just told me that the players
No.
are bad.
With all our players fit,
We haven't got a striker.
No. With all our players fit, I do because
Wait,
I
with
believe
all our players fit.
I believe.
Do you think? No, don't do that. With all our players fit,
I do.
if Saka was there today, do we win the game?
Of course, we win the game because Saka scores
with Arteta.
Saka takes his chances. Right, but that's what I'm saying to you. So you've asked me, does another manager win the league with this team? And I'm telling you, yeah, they do.
With the same issues, same records, same injuries.
Oh,
Saka being out for 2 months, Odegaard being out for 2 months.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're
putting, I'm
no, but you've asked me not the team now, but the team at the start of the season or whatever it was. Yeah,
no,
I do.
See, this is stupid because Odegaard's missed 7 games, Saka's out for 2 months, so it has to be the same. You have to be looking at it the same.
Yeah,
so
but
what I want to know is with this same scenario.
Yeah, but another manager wouldn't do this. Another manager wouldn't do the same scenario. Another manager would have noticed.
Another manager prevents Odegaard getting injured. And
I'm not talking about injury. I'm talking about the preparation of things that might happen like this. Because this happened to us 2 seasons before. When Saliba got injured, and we weren't prepared then.
What manager is this? What manager is this?
There's managers.
Another manager.
There's no. Alonso's been talked about. Why not Alonso? Why not Simeone Inzaghi? There's managers out there, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having this chat that Arteta's untouchable and he's the only one out there that can manage this team or get us to somewhere. He ain't done it yet. We ain't crossed the line with Arteta. So let's stop putting him on a pedestal. Let's go back to Arsenal having
like an Arteta guy, my friend.
I'm saying I'm not yet, but I can be. Do you know what I mean? If this continues, where season after season we're unprepared going into a season, then I will be Arteta out. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going for this season after season doing this.
Were we unprepared coming into this season?
Yeah, we were.
What were we unprepared about?
In terms of not having backup for Saka, not having a proper striker, bringing in a midfielder to replace Xhaka that have never been done. He's done that with Mourinho, and we've clearly seen that Mourinho's not good enough. So there's things he's done which is very questionable.
Just to adjust, we bought in Raheem Sterling. That was backup for Saka.
Is that adequate enough though? Let's be honest.
We haven't seen because he was injured at the same time.
Nah, I'm not having that. Raheem Sterling's nowhere near the level of the level we need this moment if we're going for a title. Raheem Sterling doesn't get games for Chelsea, and then we took him on board. No chance. No way.
Who do you buy then? That's going to sit on the bench because Saka. You want Saka to play every game.
Okay, that is difficult. That is difficult, but it's something that we can't just say Saka's now untouchable. He's got no competition at all.
Saka is untouchable.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
If you list the top 4-5 wingers in the world, Saka should be up there.
I think what you could have done, and not to, I don't want to. Yeah,
you don't want to.
I don't want to get involved in this civil war, but I kind of do. I kind of do. Sorry, Craig, I interrupted you. Sorry, man. I'm going to step out.
No, I'm saying, look, there's players out there. Saka's got no competition whatsoever on that right side.
He doesn't need competition. He need
competition. No, he doesn't need cover. He doesn't need cover because the person that's going to be covering him is not going to be on a level at all.
Why does he need competition?
To even push him further. So at this level now...
What levels? So he's not playing good enough? Is that what you're saying?
He's playing good enough, but he can play better. So you're happy with...
What competition does Salah have? What competition does Salah have?
Saka's not at Salah's level yet.
What competition?
You're riling up the Liverpool fans now.
Saka is second to
Saka
Salah.
is not at the level of Saka is consistent and getting there, but he's not there yet.
Listen, Saka is second to Salah.
The only thing the only thing I was gonna come in to say was I think you guys are just really unlucky to be in this situation where this Pep guy exists. I think he could have won the title last season. He could have won the title 2 seasons ago. And this season, when you already, like Mikey said, you just got a bad injury. And it's just unfortunate. And I'm saying that genuinely. It's unfortunate. But I think it's harsh to say one Arteta out because there's no one. I don't think I don't think you can have another manager come in that would do a better job because of the situation. For me, I've always maintained this, and we have these similar arguments with our Liverpool fans when Van Dijk went down. My personal belief is that if certain players for your team goes down, your season goes down with it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's okay. But that's how crucial they are. For me, is Van Dijk and is Mo Salah, and he's definitely Ryan Gravenberch this year. Anybody, and those three, I just think you're kidding yourself. If I see breaking news out for 2 months, 3 months, you're kidding yourself. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna try, but you're genuinely kidding yourself. Unless you have a massive lead already, you will feel it. There's no one can do that job. They cannot do what those three people can do. You can have all the replacements or whatever you want. I think you just genuinely feel you're unlucky this year. I think this year was your year to put in that form that you did last season. Unfortunately, and very fortunately for us, and I'm extremely happy, extremely ecstatic about it, that it's us that took the chance. Unfortunately, next year, unless this man disappears, Kepi will be back with his crew, and is going to be probably more likely normal service resume. And we all know what normal service resume means, which means they might start off winning the first 10, and everybody else will just bow down, as we all have to do, because there's no other choice in the matter. So whether you sack him or not, I don't think you're going to be. You can't guarantee me the league, Craig. Come on, you can't guarantee. Slot can't guarantee.
You guys are mistaking my quotes. I'm not saying Arteta should be out now. I'm saying if this continues,
well, you have to look at competition matters. But competition matters. What I'm saying, if you're if Arteta is in the, I know it's very difficult to do, but if Arteta is in Serie A league right now, I'll be with you. If Arteta is in the Bundesliga, I'll be with you. But he's not. He's in the English league, and the bottom line is, this is your competition is extremely hard.
There's loads of categories where I'm basing this on in terms of he will be looked at the end of the season, because we're talking about in-game management. I'm not talking about the whole general, if you had this squad, would this happen, would that happen? I'm talking about in-game management. On some games haven't been good enough at all. Some of the squad selection with the players he has at his disposal haven't been good enough. Just little things like that. And the little things that I'm saying about the tweaks and stuff like that, we're basing our flipping game. We're taking 5 to 10 minutes setting up a bloody free kick or in a corner.
That really is
special teams.
That's winding you up now.
It's not working.
It wasn't winding you up before.
Say that again.
This is a guy that doesn't want Arteta out.
Are
we getting a theme or a thread here?
No.
Just say what you mean.
I'm saying what I mean. I'm explaining to you in game by game the things the options he's choosing in these games and the decisions he's making. It's not good enough. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying get him out. I'm saying it ain't good enough. So when do we judge Arteta? When did we judge Arteta?
We're second in the league.
No,
and in the Champions. Hold on, bro. Come. We're second in the league. I think we're third
from the game, bro, man.
We're in the top 6 or whatever it is of the Champions League. We've had good results in the whole, and yet you want a new manager. I'm baffled.
See, you guys are putting words in my mouth.
Say with chest, man.
It's a good tactic. It's a good wind-up, I'm telling you, because my head's hot from this game. But it's okay. I'm saying.
No, it's just that I heard something and I had to address it. I had to call it out because he said, I heard someone was telling me that I need to discuss it. Like, let's talk about Craig saying Arteta out. It turns out that the person was right.
I mean, I heard it as well, Craig. I don't know where it came from, but I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. Somebody said to me, Craig was saying Arteta out. And then Uche, you heard the same thing as well, right?
Yeah.
So we had to address it, Craig. We had to address it.
We had to address it, but it sounds like you're not sure now, which is a bit of a disappointment. Stand on your statements next time. This is ridiculous.
It's like a backtrack now, Craig.
Yeah, it's all right. It's because you're now just like because we're gonna hear about you and this. Don't forget, they have Arteta out fans that are out there. They will back you in the comments. Don't say we guess.
There's a few of them.
Back me then. I'll take it. Because you guys are winding.
Oh, you did.
I've got the Arteta shirt in my drawer, so it's there for safekeeping. Don't worry about it.
Just in case.
Wow.
Just in case.
All right. Well, we'll revisit your position next week, Craig, because obviously you got the North London derby where you should collect
Flip-flop.
3 points. If you don't, then I'm sure that shirt's coming out next week. It's got to, surely.
You might have a banner.
Mate, it may do.
All right then, lads. Let's wrap it up there. We've done just over an hour. Let's wrap it up there. So great show, lads. We'll be back again next week. Podcasts will be up on YouTube on Mondays, so check us out every single Monday. And also do what I said at the start. Please subscribe, please like and share our content, and also comment on our videos as well. If you agree with Craig Arteta out, come and comment. If you agree that Nottingham Forest shouldn't be worried about, come and comment. If you believe Havertz is useless, come and all of that. Just come and comment.
Yes, 100%. Please back me there. He's useless.
All right, lads. See you again next week, people.
Cheers.
Take care.